wndrsoul.
Guys, backyard sports might be returning. I just wanted to start this episode off with that fun fact. Well, actually, it's more of a rumor. There's been activity on an Instagram account, their official Instagram account. And I don't know, does it feel like we are entering a new renaissance of sports games again? I mean, with the return of NCAA football games, I'm excited if they do bring back backyard sports because, man, that's going to be fun. That's just going to be a good time. I'm sure it'll be geared towards a younger audience. That's all good. Let the kids have those experiences, man. I feel like I grew up at a time that sports games were just the best that they've ever been. And then as I got older, they got worse and they started to not make as many. And here we are. Even as I'm recording this episode, Madden 25 comes out this week. And I am very mixed on Madden 25. I think, man, do you guys got time? First of all, thank you for checking out this episode. Welcome to another episode of wndrsoul. It's just me today. We're just going to be, talking about a bunch of random stuff for, just a short period of time, just to put something out there. I'm not sure. I have the ability at this moment to make some more content, and instead of streaming, instead of making just a YouTube video, maybe that's something I'll look to do in the near future. But right now, I really just want to get back into the rhythm and get comfortable again behind the microphone. So that's why you got this episode today. Anyways, Madden 25. What is there to say? Well, first of all, it is 2024. It's been 4 years since the next gen has started. Well, really, you can't even call it next gen anymore. It's current generation of gaming consoles, which is Xbox, Series X and S, and then you also have the PlayStation 5. All right. I don't recall. This kind of a lie. I do remember them making Madden and NCAA games for older generations of consoles when the new consoles were out, maybe for 3 years or so. But they were definitely just that, I don't know, I guess that system's look, aesthetic, and gameplay, which is like a little bit of updated features, nothing to really brag about, because at that point they're trying to push the newer games and the newer consoles. So I just remember they still supported that because they understand, and I understand, that not everybody, when these new consoles come out, can go out and afford or even find a PlayStation 5 or a new Xbox. But I think now we are at that time where if you have one, you have one. If you want one, you are able to find them. They're still, $500 for just the base. I know the Xbox Series S is cheaper, but honestly, I honestly wouldn't suggest anybody get the S. I got the S to just feel it out because I went from the PlayStation 4 and I was not really wanting a PlayStation 5 and I did not feel like dropping $500, but I ended up getting a Series S, had that for a handful of months, enjoyed it so much, but also realized that I was not getting the full, quote unquote, next gen experience, and I ended up trading that in and paying the difference for a Series X. And I love my Series X. I do most of my gaming on my Xbox. Until lately, I've been able to, kind of go back and forth between PC and Xbox, but like NCAA or College Football 25, that is only on console. It's not on PC. The thing that Madden 25 has done is it's kind of put itself in a situation where it hasn't been able to really fully grow and expand in this generation. Graphics look pretty clean. But other than that, they've had to cater to a previous generation. They've had to cater to the PC version. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but to my understanding, the PC version of Madden is not Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5 standards. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure I'm right. But either way, you're making an experience that is half-assed. It's not fully committed to what it could be potentially. And I'm not saying that if they were to stop, that the game would drastically improve. I hope so. I mean, I have been really impressed with what they were able to do with College Football 25, but College Football 25 is fully next gen, right? They didn't make a version of that for the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, right? They didn't do that. It's also not available on PC. Now, I don't understand why the Madden 25 that's next gen isn't on PC in that capacity. I don't get that. If anybody's smarter than me can answer that for me, feel free to. But honestly, I was very curious to see what they were going to do with this game. And just from the footage that I've seen and some of the YouTubers that I've trusted over the years, their reactions and their, first hand-on experiences haven't been like anything like super exciting. I'm an NFL fan. I love my New England Patriots. I have, unfortunately, over the years, supported Madden in times where I was not really super excited about the product and just wanted a football experience. Well, this year's different because this year you get College Football 25 and it's fast, it's fun, it's fully next gen. It's got so much more to offer, in my opinion, than what a Madden would provide. Am I still tempted to get it? Yes, I know. It's terrible. It's like a toxic relationship. I keep finding myself returning to it because I keep wanting to fall in love with something that maybe I'll never fall in love with. I really, really, really believe that the NFL needs to get away from EA. I think that Madden needs competition, right? I think Madden was best when you had 2K out there making football games. I think whether it's 2K or some other developer, publisher, somebody out there, they need to challenge Madden. And I think when you have that, when you have competition in any industry, and really a lot of aspects of life, it's healthier and it's better for the consumer and for the people around you because it pushes you to do better. Now, Madden, they've been able to just kind of phone it in. They make little changes every year. And I know that that's been the commentary all, 10 plus years, it feels like. I honestly feel like the 360 versions of Madden were not that great. But here we are, and I just want a good, fun product to look forward to. I mean, it's great to have NCAA to look forward to in July. I would love to have something like an NFL football game that I can get excited for before the start of the season. I mean, that would be great, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen. It still makes a lot of money. I'm sure it's easier for the NFL to just market and push one game. I can see that being kind of weird for them to be like, hey, buy Madden. Oh, and then also buy this other game. I think like in their heads, it might be better if they just had one game to promote, right? But come on, like so many people over the years have been very vocal about how disappointed they've been with the product. And it's had moments where it feels like it's heading in the right direction. But I think from year to year, it just doesn't feel like it's enough. And I feel like they do these little changes that people that really nitpick. Now, I watch some YouTubers that are really into, analyzing some of the things that these games provide, whether it's presentation, whether it's graphics and gameplay, obviously. And, like this week, I should feel excited. Like, there is literally a 10-hour trial through EA Play, which if you are an Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you have access to that. I had the ability to play NCAA before I went to Georgia and went and bought it with my friend on a midnight release. I wanted a physical copy, and I got one for my Xbox. But up until that point, I was able to play it early, and I was able to get a feel for it. And I think that's cool. I haven't done that with Madden. I I don't know if I will. I'm more than likely I will. But yeah, I just feel like competition is so healthy, guys. It's so good in these markets. And I know it's just like, beating a dead horse at this point, just talking about how these big corporations and companies need to do the things that we feel is very obvious. But, I don't know. We'll see. It just didn't look that great. It didn't look that different. Even from the guys that were nitpicking. And I saw numerous videos that seemed to just feel like, yeah, I don't know, this looks like Madden 24. I mean, what I've noticed is that they'll have a benchmark year where they make a lot of changes, and then they coast off of that format and that formula for like 2 or 3 years, and then they'll kind of change it up, drastically. A lot of people were talking about Madden 21 because that's when it really came to next gen, I guess. It's unfortunate. So much missed potential. So much missed potential. What else does that bring me to? This will be an episode that I'm trying to organize. I'm also trying to come well equipped. So these are going to be my fresh, quick remarks about this topic. Expect a larger conversation to be had with other people here on the wndrsoul podcast in the near future. But the My Hero Academia ending, like, I'm not going to spoil it for everyone. Okay? I'm actually not going to go into detail. No story details here. So if you are not caught up, if you're just watching the anime, you're safe. I'm not going to go into that kind of detail. I also need to refresh on certain things to see if it changes my opinion. But if we were to just sit down and you were to ask me generally what I thought about the My Hero Academia ending, yeah, you would just get that sound effect. That, damn. Missed potential. Honestly, I think for a while I've been feeling that way. For those that are new to the podcast and haven't had a chance to hear me geek out about My Hero, especially in the early days of wndrsoul, I was really hype about My Hero. My Hero and the characters and the stories and the themes were a big component in pushing me to do something like a podcast. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it was just this idea of pushing past your limits and, going after your dreams and trying something that, feels very much out of your comfort zone. And I promoted it. I talked about it. I, met other people that were into anime, My Hero, and had tons of conversations with them. It also brought me and my best friend pretty close over the last couple of years, because you know how it goes. Like, you get older, everybody's so busy, but we had this thing that we were able to connect on and talk about week to week. Watch the movies. We literally go in, and we'll probably do it again because there is a movie coming out. I don't know when it will be available here in the US, but I think this fall it will be out in Japan. My Hero Academia movie. But I kind of just lost. He was, let me just put it this way. He got into the manga more, and I tried to just stay with the anime. I collect the manga. I have a ton of the volumes on my bookshelf behind me right now. But I also was like, I don't know, I fell in love with this through the anime, the voice acting, the music, the animation, everything. I'm sure the manga is great. I appreciate, whenever it's like watching a Spider-Man movie and going, I just don't really care to get into the comics, but I'm sure they're great. I really enjoyed the movie. And maybe that's the same argument, but I have read the manga, and that's what we're really talking about because the manga ended. Like the show My Hero Academia, the anime, is still on right now. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to touch into any of the story beats or any of those, but there was a moment where it just felt like, oh, we're trying to wrap this up. Like I think me and a lot of other people had this. Maybe it's unfair to the creator. Maybe it's unfair to what he had in mind. But we had this vision of like a long, long story. Um, there's a lot that happens in their first year at school, but I had this idea that it was going to be like a Harry Potter esque thing, like it just would continue to go until they got done. And then when they were done at the school, maybe boom, we would have something end, but it wraps up a lot sooner than that. And you can kind of feel when things started to go in that direction. You could kind of feel where things were, in my opinion, being rushed. There was like too many moments that felt like ideas for an ending, but we're not going to end right here. But we're going to try to repeat and do some of the same things again and try to get that same reaction from you, the reader, or the viewer. And I think that's where it missed me, because I just felt like I don't think it's a bad ending. I don't know. Yeah, see, this is where I really want to choose my words carefully because whatever I say today will be held against me and I will hold against myself. But I also want to make sure that I don't talk myself into a corner. So I won't necessarily say it was a bad ending. If you remove your expectations and look, when you're a fan of any story or any of these characters and these worlds, they start to take on a life of their own. You start to fill in the blanks. You start to write the story. And so you have predictions, you have expectations, and none of these things are guaranteed and none of them are promised. So when things don't happen the way you want them to happen, that doesn't make it bad. Sometimes things can happen in a story and they can really just surprise you and it'll be better than whatever you thought you wanted. It's going to provide you with things that you wish you wanted, if that makes any sense. Because wow, when art connects with people like that, you really can't cover it up. You can't fake it. It just touches your heart in a way that you just feel like, wow, this is once in a lifetime type of energy here, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's just being a little cheesy and dramatic with it. But I think if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, if you know, you know. Because when you fall in love with some kind of art or some kind of video game or story or whatever thing out there, like it just hits, it connects with you, all the slots fit, and it's really hard to explain, and maybe you don't even have to explain. I know that we feel like we always have to explain ourselves. That's what I'm doing right here, right? So let me back up. That's how I felt at the beginning of My Hero Academia. Everything just fit. This came at a point in my life where I felt like I needed it the most and I enjoyed it, and it just felt like a wave that was getting bigger and bigger, and it grew more popular, and it was just great. And then where we are today, August 2024, with it being over, it's, it sort of feels like going through a breakup. Like there are the good times and you want to walk away from a breakup, holding on to the good memories, understanding that it just didn't work out. And maybe that's just where I'm at with my hero. Maybe it just like, we grew apart. It just didn't work out in the end. And maybe at the beginning it was love at first sight, and it was just like you just fall so deeply in love and infatuated with this property, and then it just goes in a direction that doesn't connect with you as much anymore. And that can happen. Like, think of all the people that go, I fucking love Game of Thrones, and then the ending happened, and they're like, fuck Game of Thrones. I'm not even saying that about My Hero. I'm allowed to feel disappointed. I really appreciated everything done with My Hero, with those characters, up to a point. And it's kind of like, weirdly, I compare it to like the new Disney Star Wars. Like, in my mind, My Hero kind of ends at a certain point, and then I kind of create the rest of it, and I'm happy and I'm content and I'm cool with it. It's kind of like with not My Hero, with Star Wars. Like, that Disney shit, it doesn't mean anything to me. But I keep hold on to like the parts of Star Wars that did connect with me, that did matter a lot to me. And whatever they ended up doing with Disney, and whatever, whatever My Hero did with the ending of the story wasn't going to take away what it did for me at the beginning of the story. Just like these Disney Star Wars movies and things are not going to ruin or, just take away from anything that I've found to be connection worthy, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to connect these dots. I'm trying to make sense of how I'm feeling about it. So yeah, I'm a little disappointed, and I haven't really had a chance to really geek out or talk about it. And that's why I've been trying to save my thoughts and opinions off of social media, and, hopefully sit down with some people that I know aren't all going to agree with each other. And that's actually going to be the beauty of it. I think having people that love the ending and people that despise the ending, and then people that are somewhere in the middle, all come together and sit down and talk, will be a really healthy discussion for everyone involved, and everyone listening hopefully will get something out of it, because there will be somebody that you can hear that you can go, see, they get it. They get how I feel, right? So I'm not here to be negative. I'm not trying to do that. There's already enough of that out there. If you liked the ending of My Hero Academia, I'm happy for you, because then in a lot of ways you got a full, complete experience, and that's rare. And we all know that, right? Like, the longer you're living and taking in all of these stories and properties and everything that they have to offer you, you just realize that when it hits, it's not guaranteed to hit forever. And that's a rare feeling. So hold on to that. Be happy, and don't let anybody put you down because you like something that maybe a majority of people don't. But that's okay. Like, I'm not here to really, bully anybody into believing what I believe, or anything like that. So I would say, tell me your thoughts on the My Hero ending on socials or wherever. But maybe save that for the episode. I am hoping to get a group of people to sit down and have that discussion soon. I've talked to a couple people. If you're listening to this and you feel like you are one of those people, reach out to me and let's set something up. So, yeah, I guess like that's really all I wanted to do with this episode, is just talk about a couple things. I will use the remainder of my time that I allocated for this episode to talk about some other things, just kind of bounce around a little bit. So bear with me with that. But yes, we are returning to Wonder Sports, or some kind of, it's going to be something. Me and Grant have been talking all summer about wanting to continue doing a sports show here on the podcast. It's going to be just sports related. It's not going to be, it's going to be different from last year. I think we learned a lot. We were able to be consistent up to a certain point, and I think we want to make something that we'll both enjoy and look forward to recording and talking about things, and hopefully that you look forward to listening. So be on the lookout for that, especially before football season starts. So sometime this month, I know me and him have talked about linking up and getting an episode out. Whether it's going to be every week or bi-weekly, that's going to be something that we're going to talk about here in the next couple of weeks. But expect a sports show before the end of the month. So I'm really excited. And it might not just be me and Grant. Maybe it's me and Grant and then somebody else. Or maybe Grant can't make it and I grab somebody else. Or maybe I can't make it and Grant, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want that to be something that is consistent here on the platform. Whether it's WWE or college football or whatever. I just want to have that space to just talk about those things, So if you guys have anything that you want to hear, let me know. But really excited about it. Really, really excited about it. Also, going to be having Bailey on some more. We're going to go see Alien Romulus this weekend. We're probably going to talk about that on the podcast. We've been playing Magic again because of the whole, what is it called? Hold on, let me grab this. This Bloomborough set that they have out that me and her have been really into and excited about. We don't stick with Magic for every set, but when it releases something that we really enjoy, whether it was a Lord of the Rings set or a couple other ones, this one's like cute little critters and it's fun and it's cute and we're having a good time with it. So we're going to continue to collect and play and make decks. So that's been fun. I don't know. I've tried to talk to her about getting on Magic Arena. Maybe that's something we can do. But for the most part, look, I still buy physical books. All right. I told you I bought a physical copy of NCAA. Okay. I like the feel and the smell of the cards. I bought Dragon Shield sleeves. I love it. I grew up going to a comic book / card shop when I was still living in Maine, and they're still open. Shout out to Eagle Hill. But I loved it, from Pokemon to Dragon Ball Z to Star Wars. If they released a trading card game, I was all about it. So yeah, that's been fun. Been reading some books like Atomic Habits by James Clear. That's something I might want to talk about on the podcast. Might be one of these solo dolos. Also, what else is there? Yeah, so just expect some more consistency when it comes to the podcast. I'm really excited. I'm really enjoying these mics. I'm really enjoying getting, to sit down and allocate this time and energy to wndrsoul. wndrsoul has always meant so much to me, and I've had different priorities. Things happen, but I'm here and I'm ready and I'm excited. Fall is such a fantastic time. It's one of my favorite times of the year. So much going on, so much to talk about. And yeah, that's going to be about it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know this is kind of random, and I know this episode won't be for everyone, but I hope that throughout time on the catalog or in the catalog of episodes that I'm able to produce with guests and friends and family alike, that you'll find something that you will enjoy or find entertaining or interesting. There is a wide spectrum here, but hopefully over time, there will be themes and trends that you'll be able to pick up on. Maybe the sports stuff is the only shit you care about. That's fine. I want you to, just enjoy whatever you enjoy. I'm always going to sit back and talk about the things that I want to talk about. And that's all this random shit. I love it. That's just the things that I dedicate most of my time and energy to. And I'm lucky to have people that are willing to listen and talk to me about this stuff. And I look forward to more. So with that all being said, I hope you guys are doing good. Thank you guys for taking time to listen to another episode of wndrsoul. And until the next episode, I hope you guys take care and do good.
wndrsoul.